Our reporter Minoshni Pillay joins us now for the very latest. Minoshni, certainly a worrying situation is developing in KwaZulu-Natal. Please give us an update as well as a wrap of what we've been seeing during the day.
Yes, indeed, it has been an incredibly worrying day, and I think a day that came far too soon following last month's floods. The area, coastal cities north of eThekwini itself was quite battered overnight, but coastal cities, areas north of the city like Mercy, Umdloti, Sea Tides, Tongaat, really suffering, taking the brunt of what has been heavy overnight rains, mudslides, arterial roads as well as main into highways, and the M4 Route First highway that takes you from the city right into the northern parts outside the city being battered, roads collapsing, and very critically, water, electricity and network infrastructure that authorities have, it's taken them about a month and a half to restore, or not yet to optimum condition either. These critical pieces of infrastructure also now collapsing overnight. So what has happened, I think most telling, is that you've got small pockets of communities that find themselves entirely locked in. An area like Mercy, which is about 10 minutes from the King Shaka International Airport. The only way in and out following last month's devastating floods, that portion of that M4 highway that connected that community to the toll gate further up north that led you into the city now completely collapsed, and so that community locked into itself without critical resources like water, electricity, and now network connectivity. And a question that we're going to take further tomorrow as a team is how then does the municipality get resources in? In the case where a community like this does not have water, how then does a municipality bring in a water tanker? These are the issues 24 hours later that several little communities, little pockets that are now find themselves locked in are grappling with.
And what is the situation like in terms of the panic? Because we do know that is a huge cause for concern, because residents were hit by flooding not too long ago, and now they're still trying to rebuild, and the adverse weather conditions once again becoming a factor.
That is a key word. You say panic, and imagine being cut off from your network, from connectivity, not being able to leave your community, and your family and friends not being able to get in to make sure you're okay, but you're not having any connectivity to figure out what to do for you and your family. So the scenes I saw earlier today in Umdloti of people literally packing up their belongings in buckets and plastic bags and not being able to get into their vehicle and leave their home because their vehicle can't make it out. So literally holding their child's hand in one hand, holding their packet of clothes in the other hand, and walking down the main road to get as far out of that town as possible until someone could pick them up on the other side. But for thousands that are living in, that have now been displaced, the most vulnerable in low-lying, informal areas, these floods and April's floods have hit them the hardest. And that is also a big concern now. These community halls that officials are speaking of are already packed to capacity. Over 3,000 people in community halls in and around the city. 40,000 displaced from last month's floods. And now, after just one day and one night of excessive and heavy rains, where else do people?
All right, Minoshni, I'm not sure if we lost you there, but thank you so much for giving us a sense and an update